Amara had built her whole career on paying attention to what a photo doesn't mean to show, which is exactly why the picture stopped her. Not because of what was in frame, but because of what was reflected, tiny and accidental in a window behind her husband's shoulder. It had synced automatically to their shared family cloud album, the one they'd set up years ago for the kids' school photos. Colin hadn't taken it. Someone else had. Standing close enough to be in the reflection herself, Amara and Colin had met at a gallery opening for her first solo show, and Colin had spent 20 minutes talking to her about a photograph before admitting he hadn't understood a word of the artist's statement. She'd found that endearing then. A man honest about what he didn't know. 9 years and 2 kids later, she'd built her business around the same shared cloud account they used for everything. Family trips, school plays, birthdays. She'd never imagined the account might one day show her something neither of them had chosen to share with it. The photo itself was almost nothing. Colin at a rooftop bar, laughing at something off camera, taken from an angle he clearly hadn't posed for. In the window behind him, faint but unmistakable once Amara zoomed in 3 times. A woman's reflection, phone raised, taking the exact picture that had just synced to a shared album meant for family memories. Her name, Amara would learn within the hour, was Jade. She followed Colin's design studio on social media. Colin had never once mentioned her. Amara didn't need to hack anything. The cloud account was hers as much as his. She simply opened the metadata Colin never thought to check. The timestamps and locations quietly attached to every photo that had ever auto-synced. She found 6 more. Not sent to her, not shared on purpose. Just swept up automatically by an account both of them had forgotten was still set to back up Colin's phone in the background. 4 months of accidental evidence, backed up in high resolution, perfectly dated. Amara printed the photos the way she printed everything, carefully in the same darkroom adjacent process she used for gallery work, because some part of her needed to hold the evidence physically before she could believe it. Laid out on the light table, the timeline told its own quiet story. 4 months, the same rooftop bar 3 times, and 1 photo of Jade wearing a bracelet Amara recognized immediately because she'd helped Colin pick it out for their anniversary. He'd bought it for someone else and let the account believe it belonged in the family album. Amara didn't confront Colin over the photos. She did something else entirely. She booked their upcoming anniversary photo shoot exactly as planned, the one Colin himself had suggested months earlier to document the family. She spent the week quietly consulting a lawyer, printing the 6 photos in gallery quality resolution, and framing them exactly the way she'd frame any other body of work. Clearly labeled, chronologically ordered, ready to be seen. The shoot was scheduled for their actual anniversary. Colin still thought it was about them. Colin arrived in the shirt Amara had suggested, relaxed and easy in front of the camera the way he always was, joking with the assistant about how many photos a marriage really needs. Amara photographed him the way she'd photograph any subject. Patient, precise, waiting for the exact right light before pressing the shutter. Between setups, she mentioned she had a few prints to show him first, from a separate series she'd been quietly working on all week. She laid the 6 photographs on the studio table the way she'd lay out any final selects. Largest first, chronological, unmistakably labeled with dates. Colin's face changed on the second print, the one with the bracelet. By the 4th, he wasn't performing relaxed anymore. Amara said evenly that the family cloud account had done exactly what it was built to do. Remember everything, automatically, without anyone having to ask it to. He tried, "It's not what it looks like" first. The same line Amara suspected every photographer had heard from every subject who didn't want to be seen clearly. She let him finish, then mentioned that she'd already spoken with a lawyer, already secured copies of the metadata with an attorney off-site, and already knew exactly which of the family assets were legally hers outright, as the business's sole photographer of record. Colin asked quietly if she'd really planned an entire photo shoot around this. Amara said she'd simply used what he taught her. Pay attention to what's actually in frame. Amara packed up her own equipment that evening, same as she did after every shoot, methodical and unhurried, while Colin sat with 6 photographs he hadn't taken and 1 marriage he no longer fully recognized. She didn't feel triumphant walking out. She felt like a photographer who had simply developed the pictures that were already there, waiting in a shared account neither of them thought to look at closely enough. People love to say the camera never lies. Amara had learned a more precise version of that idea. The camera doesn't lie. It just waits for someone patient enough to actually look.